TP Jagger here as the 3-minute writing teacher. For today's writing tip, I'm going to use some examples from my Hide and GEEK series to look at where ideas and inspiration come from and how you can gather ideas for your own stories. Now, some people advise to write what you know, but unless you're writing memoir, that advice really won't take you all that far. My mantra is related, but I think it's a little more nuanced, and that is find story in the familiar. Let me explain. First, I do find story ideas and inspiration from events in my own life, which I suppose falls under that writing what I know umbrella. For example, in my Hide and GEEK series, the backstory for Gina includes that when she was younger, she found a puppy abandoned in an alley, convinced her mom to let her keep it, and named the puppy Sauce. Well, when I was a kid, my brother and I found a mama dog and her puppies on the side of a mountain in Kentucky. We convinced our parents to let us keep the mama and one of the puppies, so that episode in my life helped inspire the presence of Gina's dog Sauce in Hide and GEEK. Second, I find ideas and inspiration from things I observe. For example, both of my kids play basketball. I have been to a lot of games over the years. I've seen the sights, I've heard the sounds, the wild crowds. So when a scene in the treasure test came along where the geeks needed to sneak into a school where there was a basketball tournament going on, I used what I observed at my kids' games to help me with that setting. And better yet, it inspired one of my favorite scenes in the entire book. Mini spoiler, the scene involves theater-loving Edgar, a deflated basketball, and some Shakespearean improv. And it was a lot of fun to write. Third, I find ideas and inspiration from things I've been told. My dad once shared a story with me about my great-great-grandma Gype, who would sit on her porch in a rocking chair holding a 22-gauge bolt-action rifle and looking for any gophers or groundhogs who dared to pop their heads up in her yard. Now, the thing is, I write children's books. It didn't seem like a good idea to have a gun-toting grandma sitting on her porch threatening people or animals. But once I swapped out that 22-gauge rifle for a bazooka Boom Painter 2000 that launched paintball grenades at would-be trespassers, poof, I had exactly what I needed to arm a cantankerous porch-guarding old lady. Now, finally, and most importantly, I use my imagination. Sure, I can find ideas and inspiration from events in my own life, from things I've observed, and from things I've been told. But even though these are all ways to find story in the familiar, ultimately, all of those things can only provide inspiration. They're secondary. Imagination comes first. After all, when you write fiction, you don't have to write what you know. You can write whatever you can make up. If you have other ways or examples for how you found ideas and inspiration for your own stories, feel free to share them in the comments below. And as always, happy writing.